I cannot get this little hair to stay up. That looks better. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. This evening, I was part of a stream for, technically, the Runaway Guys Coliseum, a continuation of the charity event that we did back in spring. There have been multiple bonus streams since then, and I don't know what number we're on, but this was another one that I was a part of as we continued to get through the list of high donation stuff for Chaos Fortune Cookie. I wasn't there for the whole thing because these streams go on for a long time, but I was there at the beginning, and one of the games that had been requested by everyone was Kirby's Dream Course, and this is probably because John and I played it last year for Chaos Fortune Cookie. Everyone seemed to really enjoy that segment and had donated to see more of it, so we reprised that role and we played more of it this evening. It's a fun game, and it got me thinking that maybe I would just dedicate today's vlog to it. So that's what I'm doing. And this will be a two-parter. For one, it'll be a little information and backstory about my experiences with the game and why I like it and why I think you should play it. And then also maybe a thinly veiled plea for Nintendo to please make a new Kirby's Dream Course. I know that there's probably not enough people out there like me who would be interested in such a concept, but I loved the original, and I still love the original to this day, and I think that it deserves another shot in the spotlight. So Kirby's Dream Course is an interesting one for me because that was a game that I bought on a whim. That was a game that I didn't really know anything about. I was a kid, I was at the store, I had money, and I bought a game. Kirby's Dream Course is among a few other games. For the most part, I always knew what I was getting. But there's been a few games over the course of my life that I knew almost nothing about, or sometimes nothing about, and I bought. Other games from that era that I bought on a whim included Turtles in Time, and NBA Jam Tournament Edition. So, I did pretty good. Those two games and Kirby's Dream Course, buying them on a whim, those ended up being, pretty good games. But Kirby's Dream Course really struck a chord with me, and I think it's because I grew up in Myrtle Beach. Growing up in Myrtle Beach and having access to probably 100 miniature golf courses, I always loved to play miniature golf, and we played a lot of it, especially in the summer. And playing Kirby's Dream Course is kind of like playing miniature golf. It's these wacky golf worlds, and you've got all of these different Kirby abilities, and there's something about it that was just immensely fun to me as a child. And I liked Kirby already. I had actually, it's funny. My first Kirby game was Pinball Land for the Game Boy. And it's kind of strange, isn't it? When you think of Kirby, you think of, or I would say most people would think of 2D side-scrolling platformer with abilities and combat. Some sort of combat, exploration, adventure. That's the general Kirby formula, but really when you start to look at the list of every Kirby game that's been released, a good chunk of them, maybe even half, are some sort of spin-off from that idea. And it's funny that my first Kirby game that I ever owned was Pinball Land, which is a pinball game, not the normal Kirby formula. And then, I ended up owning Kirby's Dream Course, which again, a deviation from the formula. I did eventually pick up Superstar and Dreamland 3, and all of the Kirby games on Super Nintendo are just gems, and some of my favorite games of all time. But, when I think back to my favorite Super Nintendo Kirby game, Superstar is up there, but gosh darn it, I think Kirby's Dream Course is right there with it. And it's just because it's such a unique concept. There have been many fun golf games that have come out in the, almost 30 years since. But there hasn't been anything that's been quite like Kirby's Dream Course. Kirby's Dream Course continues to be a very unique concept. If you haven't played it, you're fortunate. because right now it's available on the Switch online Super Nintendo eShop Virtual Console thing. And I know a lot of people that watch have the Switch, have the online membership. If you've never played it, you really owe it to yourself to give it a shot. It's super unique. It's easy to understand, and it's hard to master. If you want some tips, or if you want to just watch through it, I do have a full LP on YouTube. I've had it for a few years, just because it's been a game that I've adored. But I urge folks to try it out. And maybe after playing it, you'll feel like I do, that maybe it should be given another shot. It's been a long time. I think golf games like that are really fun, and I would love to see an updated take on it. You know, I know that, for instance, Super Mario Maker, the concept of like making and editing Mario stages has existed online for many, many, many years. They took that concept and they made it into Mario Maker, and that was very successful. Same thing with Kirby's Dream Course. There's an entire community of folks that make courses. I would love to see that happen in an official capacity, with like an updated version of Kirby's Dream Course with a course editor. And like, it doesn't have the star power that Mario does, and that kills me, because I feel like the odds of ever seeing something like that are probably slim to none. But that is my personal hope. I would love to see it someday. Kirby's Dream Course remains an absolute treasure. So a game that I poured so much time into as a child, and have continued to play here and there as I got older, and have introduced to other people too. That's one of the great things about the Super Nintendo and pixel-based games in general, is that they've aged way, way better. The current generation of gamers, and honestly even myself going back, like trying to play N64 games, trying to play PlayStation 1 games, these low polygonal games, like, they're hard to play. It's hard to go back and play GoldenEye 007. The concept is great, the music is great. It's not that the game is bad, it's just that we have been so used to modern things for so long that it's actually difficult. But pixel-based games don't have that problem, so you can go back and play Kirby's Dream Course, and it's beautiful, and it plays extremely well. So for any modern-day gamers who missed out on it, haven't played it, or anyone that's my age that just didn't play it whenever they were younger, give it a shot if you get a chance. It's not even that long. You can play through single player and have a blast, and maybe if you got a friend around who is willing to go through some of the absurd versus courses, you could try out the versus mode too. And of course, if you don't have access to any of that, or you're not interested, you can watch it, and it's really cool. It's a really cool game. Okay, that's it. That's my little game rant. If this was of interest to you, let me know. I could talk at length about so many other games. I have so much stuff to say and to talk about, but I don't know. I'm very nostalgic about Kirby's Dream Course. I really love that game. I love so many of the Kirby games. I feel like Kirby is such an interesting franchise, you know, because you really do have like half of the games that are just spin-offs. They're just really wacky ideas, deviating from that 2D formula, and I just love to see them experiment with new concepts and mechanics, and they do that a lot with Kirby, and I think that's good. I think it's a really good thing. I hope they continue to do that. Okay, thanks for watching. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?